Hello, this is Chris Gaines, Superintendent of the Melville School District, and wanting to share a little bit of where we are on Prop R as a second update. So here we go. From a timeline perspective, we're kind of repeating what we said a month ago. Voters approved. We've been working on budget development. We're getting closer and closer in that regard. Our budget deadline is June 30th, but we do anticipate a final budget adoption around June 23rd. But we won't set our tax rates until September and then not see Prop R funds until December. So what's been happening since our last update? We're still doing a lot of planning around staff development and a lot of planning around facilities. We've let bids around buses and some fire alarm work that will happen this summer. And we've been filling the final 8 positions that were funded with Prop R. In a nutshell, and as a precursor, we are looking to add 16 positions through Prop R. As of the end of today, we'll have all those filled. We're going to invest in staff development. That's planned and budgeted for. We're going to restore so that we'll have 1-to-1 for all of our high school kids. We've got a timeline in place to do that. We've got classroom supply budgets, clubs, and textbooks budgeted at the levels that we said. The community feedback piece, we've got our providers and consultants selected. We are getting a number of bids relative to facilities, and we've got 10 buses ordered. So that's where we are in a nutshell, but we can go a little deeper into each of those a little bit and to where there's more of an update. So on the 16 positions, you can see the update here is highlighted in blue, so we have a change here. We now have all positions filled. Looks like about 12 of those were filled internally, so those create additional openings in the district, mostly at the elementary level, that we'll need to fill as well. On the staff development piece, we've got the 3-year plan in place. No real change there, but here are a little bit more details. We've split our elementaries into 3 cohorts, and they'll be working on continuous improvement training and student engagement training. So the student engagement piece comes first, and then the continuous classroom improvement training comes behind that. This is what it looks like over the next 3 years. We've also got STEM and project-based training for our middle school, student engagement training at our high schools, and we have an Innovation Academy that started this year, and we'll be starting an Innovation Incubator Academy of sorts next year. So this is what the first 3 years of this looks like, but if we look at elementary cohort 3, their continuous classroom improvement training will go out 2 years beyond this. So we've really got more laid out beyond just the 3 years that we show here. On the technology funds, we do have an update here, so we're in blue. We are looking at a potential device change as we fill the next class, and those are being piloted after spring break, and we anticipate that we'll make a selection and make that order by the end of April so that those devices will be here and ready to go at the start of school in August. On the classroom supplies, no real update here. Those levels are budgeted for. On the club piece, no real update there. Those are going to be announced at the building levels by May 1. On the textbook piece, no real update here, but we will show a little bit more detail in what our curriculum revision schedule looks like. So for 15-16, this current school year, we've been working on kindergarten through 5th grade English Language Arts, middle school math, and high school science, revising those curriculums. For next year, we will purchase materials in those 3 areas. And then in 16-17, we'll work on K through 5 science curriculum, middle school English Language Arts, high school language arts, and then we'll purchase materials for those classes the year after. So this represents the year in which we work on that curriculum, and then the year after is when those classes would have new textbooks and support materials. For the systematic feedback piece, we do have an update. We're going to utilize K-12 Insight. We're going to utilize opinion research specialists and maybe even thought exchange to gather feedback from the community as we move forward. On the capital needs, we do have an update. I'll show you that a little bit in detail here, but we also have begun to consider what the impact of Prop A would be on some of these projects and whether or not we could shift some projects a little bit sooner with the passage of Prop A, if voters should approve it. So here's what we look like for next year. The update is that we had estimated $635,000 on the fire alarm bids, and those came in under that estimate, so that's good. We had just opened parking lot bids earlier this week, but we've not had a chance to thoroughly review them yet. And we'll very soon be opening bids on the HVAC piece at Washington and Oakville Middles. On the buses, we do have an update here. We have ordered 10 buses, and that was a cost of just under $940,000. So that's where we are update-wise. From a timeline perspective, we gave an update to the Board of Education on where we are budget development on March 17th. We'll give additional information and continue to update and provide more details in April and in May and in early June. And on June 23rd, we anticipate that we'll do a final budget adoption. So that's an update on Prop R. We hope everybody has a great spring break. Thanks.